fast for our program, we're going to show you some Wildcats that were done for when Marietta came to town. And it's no time to call it quits as the Blue Devils head south for their toughest game yet. We're wrapping up football season, so Cobb Prep Rally eases onto the hardwood to bring you McEachern versus Osborne. The Cardinal Hoops players talk the truth about Cobb Prep Rally.
If you don't like it, you better learn to love it, because it's the best thing going today. Woo!
All champions have to dress the part, and Pro Sports has got you covered from head to toe with T-shirts, hats, lightweight jackets, and leather jackets. The only place big enough to get every Cobb school under one roof is Pro Sports, with 2 locations, including Shackelford and East Cobb.
Meet Linda Thompson. She's an active member of the East Cobb business community and a leader in education circles. But you probably know her better as president of Cobb American Bank. She enjoys what she does and might send you away in a better mood, too. Get to know Linda and your friends at Cobb American Bank.
This city has some of the finest restaurants in the world. Of course, it has some of the funnest restaurants in the world, too. Buffalo's Cafe. Nothing fancy, just good food and a darn good time.
The games.
And nobody's going to catch Don Bunda.
The moments.
Here's the Hail Mary. It's tipped. Touchdown, Lessener.
And everything in between. Cobb Prep Rally.
Touchdown, Blue Devils.
The only game in town.
Hi, and welcome back to Cobb Prep Rally. I'm Ann Kokanya with my co-host Scott Kozlowski. You caught us in the middle as we get ready for our big trip to the Dunwoody-Marietta game.
Let's make sure we got everything we need. And let's see, camera and tripod.
That's a big check, Scott. Coming your way.
Right, headset and microphones.
Headset and microphones. Check.
All right, got it. Let's see, bear.
Bear. Oh, yes, bear. Okay.
Very good. Scuba masks and frisbee.
Scuba masks. Frisbee.
Okay, good. Propane tank.
Propane tank. Right here.
Excellent. And let's see, our sander.
I think we've got everything.
Yeah, I think that is everything. And let's hit the road. Well, we're all loaded up and just about ready to go.
You know, though, Scott, I'm disappointed. Football season's like kind of over.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed too, but the good thing is basketball season is right around the corner. In fact, on this very show, we're going to have the game between McEachern and Osborne.
And you know what? The cheerleading rolls over to basketball season too. And I tell you, we talked to a very spirited group, and they're the Region 5 Quad A champs at North Cobb High School.
That's going to be in our female focus, but I'll tell you what, we got to go.
See ya.
We arrived at the Dunwoody-Marietta game just in time to see what looked to be a defensive battle early on. Marietta's D swarmed to the ball. Here, Chris Mumma, Chris Flanagan, B.J. Sanders, and Rob Simpson stopped Dunwoody for the loss. After the first quarter, there was no score. But Travis Zachary did his best to change that. He takes the pitch from LeBron Mitchell, and following a great lead block by Matt Anderson, he tore through the Dunwoody defense before he was finally dragged down deep into Wildcat territory. The Blue Devils had to settle for a field goal, though, and Hap Hines knocked it through to give the Blue Devils the first points of the game. Dexter Wood took his team into the locker room at halftime with the 3-0 lead. But late in the third, Dunwoody hit on their biggest play of the night. Ryan Stutzer hit Larry Mann across the middle, and he galloped 57 yards to the end zone. The Wildcats took the lead 7-3. If Marietta was going to win it, they'd have to do it in the fourth quarter like they had done in their previous 4 games. There was a little luck that helped the Blue Devils get moving, though. Mitchell's pass is tipped, not once, but twice before being snagged by Darryl Arvin. The Marietta drive continued as Mitchell went to the air again, this time hitting Matt Anderson for another first down. But the Dunwoody defense stiffened, and Marietta was looking at 4th down from the 7. Dexter Wood had originally sent out the field goal unit and tried to draw the Wildcats off sides, but after a timeout, he sent the offense back onto the field. That's when LeBron Mitchell ran around the right side and dove in for the touchdown. Marietta regained the lead at 10-7, and the Blue Devil D held to give the ball back to Marietta's offense. That's when Keytron Thornton took over. Taking the handoff from Mitchell, he pushed his way through Dunwoody's D. Thornton did the exact same thing a few plays later to score from 11 yards out and give Marietta a 17-7 lead. That's how it ended, giving Marietta their 5th straight fourth quarter win.
All right, at first it was tough, but we just hung tough and kept believing in our game plan, and we did it.
I'm just proud of these guys over there because nobody really believed before the season that we could do it. And you saw our fans. I thought the 12th player tonight was our fans in the spirit. And I really think that gave us an adrenaline boost there in the fourth quarter when we needed it. But we're a well-conditioned team, and I thought that was something that happened again this week, just like last week. We seem to be a pretty solid football team in the fourth quarter.
Coach Wood and his Blue Devils head to Colquitt County this weekend to try to put themselves in a state championship game. Friday night, as Marietta battled Dunwoody, we wanted to capture the sights and sounds of Friday night football. So, with the season coming to a close, we compiled this video essay to answer the question, what is Friday night football?
On the back. See the book on it?
Well, congratulations, Marietta, and we're looking forward to next week. But for the rest of the schools in Cobb County, football is out, and it's basketball that's in. So let's tip off our season. Here's Osborne at McEachern.
McEachern took control of this game from the opening tip as Chris Fletcher hit Yafet Patterson for the easy 2. McEachern showed some great ball movement as Jamal Bryan assists Fletcher for another 2 points. The Indians' D looks sharp too. Patterson steps in front of the Cardinal pass and passes ahead to Carl Johnson, who combines with Bryant for the basket and the foul. McEachern forced several Osborne turnovers. Joey Heinrich knocks away the inbound pass to start the fast break, but Marcus Larry says, not in my neighborhood. Coach Fincher told his team to play strong, and they responded as Brandon Price hit O.J. DeBose for 2 of his 16 points on the night. The Indians' great passing kept Osborne struggling to stay in it. Patterson with a nice feed to Heinrich for 2 of his 10. Then Patterson made another steal and left it for Bryant for 2 more of his 22 on the night. Dave Westerfield told his team not to back down. Chris Fletcher certainly understood those words because right before the end of the first period, he buries the 3 to put the McEachern Indians up by 15 points. After the end of the first, it was 24-9. Osborne steadied themselves, led by Hakeem Batiste and Marcus Larry. Here's 2 of Larry's 14. But the damage had already been done, and McEachern went on to win by a final of 77-62. Dave Westerfield now needs only 7 more wins to reach the 400 mark.
Well, there's your first look at basketball on Cobb Prep Rally. We'll have plenty more games for you in next week's program. But Scott, why don't you tell us what's coming up tonight?
Well, Ann, it's going to be a night like no other. Bob Giles is preparing to give you the 5 greatest moments in Cobb County football for 1994. And meet a North Cobb Warrior who moved from the gridiron to the cheerleading squad. Don't split. We'll be right back.
Where do you think you're going with that?
The oven?
The oven, Larry? Perfect.
At Papa John's, our mission is to deliver the perfect pizza.
Welcome to the new age of cheerleading. Cheering is now a varsity sport, and now more than ever, it takes sweat to make the squad. American Cheerleading hasn't forgotten that cheering should be fun and taught in a positive atmosphere. They let you set your goal and help you become your very best, and it's never too late to start. American Cheerleading's mission is taking beginners to a level they never thought possible. Flexible enrollment and experienced coaches at one nearby location. American Cheerleading, from the basics to the best.
Seniors, graduation is closer than you think. The fact is you can get a great education right here in Cobb County at Kennesaw State College. State-of-the-art technology, day and night classes to fit your needs, lots of student activities and low tuition. Kennesaw State has it all. Call Kennesaw State now at 423-6300.
Introducing the Hair Pizzazz haircut. Yeah, that's the ticket. Possibly, maybe, I give up. Yes, Hair Pizzazz. Put some pizzazz into your hair.
Tonight's Scholar Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Huntington Learning Center at 977-2800. Take control of your future and break the failure chain for good. Call Huntington today.
Scholar athlete Shane Harvey wrestles for the South Cobb varsity team and sports a 3.88 GPA. Shane took some time during 7th period to answer the question, who is Shane Harvey?
Shane Harvey is a well-rounded student. He could make better grades than he does, but he applies himself in many different areas.
But closest to Shane's heart is music. He plays tuba for the Eagle Band.
This is where I live, basically. This is everything I do revolves around this room. It's actually clean today. Yeah, I can get down if you'd like me to.
In December, Shane will audition for the contrabass position with the Spirit of Atlanta Drum and Bugle Corps.
There's a good chance I'll make it. And then every once a month we have a camp where we learn our music, learn our show, and then starting in the summer, we practice every day until about the middle of June, and then we go on tour all over the country.
Shane's good friends have to grin and bear his busy schedule.
Shane's usually too busy studying or working on his car to party all the time. So
Shane plans to pursue a civil engineering degree at Georgia Tech, and the first thing he'll do at school is join a band. Best of luck to you, Shane, and thanks for being our Scholar Athlete of the Week. Well, Shane, you play a mean tuba, but not everybody has all the right instruments to be a great athlete, especially a cheerleader. In fact, at North Cobb High School, one of the Warrior football players is making the transition into cheering, but it's not too hard to learn when you're working with the Region 5 Quad A champions. Here's tonight's Female Focus. Well, this cheerleader isn't a female, but we thought he deserved a little focus. A few weeks ago, Kemp Brody was an outside linebacker for the North Cobb football team. He decided to forfeit basketball season for an opportunity to cheer.
It's fun. I like the girls and all. They all nice to me, and it's not as hard. It's not as easy as everyone think it is.
Kemp wants to help the squad repeat and improve upon last year's award-winning season.
We were the Region 5 Quad A champions. We got to participate in the first ever state cheerleading competition, so it's something we'll never forget. That trophy is in a very special place. We were the first in our region, so we're really excited and working really, really hard this year to repeat.
Warrior cheerleaders jump at the chance to bag those big awards, but plaques and trophies come in second place to having fun.
It's just so much excitement because you're out there in the crowd, and I just love doing it. It's something that I've always loved doing, and you just get the crowd like pumped up and spirited, and once you see the crowd doing that, then it just gets you so excited because you know that you're doing something for them.
So hey, Warrior fans, next time you see Christy and her teammates, do something for them. How about a big round of applause for this hard-working North Cobb cheerleading squad?
Tonight's Female Focus is brought to you by American Cheerleading in Atlanta. From the top programs to the college-bound athlete, we teach basics all the way up to the very best in cheerleading training.
This is Bob Giles of the Cobb Extra at the Buffalo's Cafe on Lower Roswell Road near Park Air. I'll be back with sports news from around the county after you watch the Plays of the Week.
Tonight's Play of the Week is brought to you by Pro Sports. Check out our selection of JanSport bags and letter jackets. Pro Sports with 2 locations. I'm Bob Giles with the Prep Rally Inside Scoop at Buffalo's. This week we'll take a look first at Marietta's playoff game down at Colquitt County, and then we'll also take a look at the 5 most scintillating moments from this past season in Cobb County football. Well, Marietta's got to travel down to Moultrie, Georgia to play Colquitt County in a Class Quad A semifinal game, and it's going to be awful tough for Coach Dexter Wood's Blue Devils, who are probably going to have to play their finest game of the year if they want to continue this dream season. Colquitt's 13-0 and plays in the same region with Valdosta, so you know they take their football seriously down there. Marietta had Colquitt on the ropes in the 1991 semifinal game up here in Northcutt Stadium, but the Packers came back and pulled out a 21-17 overtime victory. And Coach Wood feels like this Colquitt team is actually more talented than the one that beat Marietta that season. Still, Marietta's kind of like Coach Wood's alma mater, Alabama, this year. It just finds a way to win in the close ball games. My head tells me that I ought to go with Colquitt, so I'm going to do that. Even though my heart's with Marietta, I picked Colquitt 21-17. Now, let's look at the 5 top moments in Cobb County football this season. Most of you could put together your own list, but this is how it looks from where I sit. Number 5, Osborne beats Campbell 22-20 on October 21st in an exciting contest that gave Coach Brian Powell's Cardinals a school record 8th victory. Number 4, in a battle on October 7th between Cobb's 2 best teams, McEachern gutted out a 14-7 victory over Marietta in a game that was fought with playoff intensity. Number 3 was Pope's comeback from way down to beat Milton 35-34 in the closing seconds on November 4th to clinch the Greyhounds' first sub-region title. Number 2 is the gutsy show McEachern's defense put on in holding number 1 ranked Southwest DeKalb scoreless for most of the game in the recent playoffs. The Indians eventually lost 14-7, but that defensive performance looked all the more impressive after Southwest DeKalb came back the next week and really swamped Brookwood 54-27. Well, the number 1 moment may have to be rewritten if Marietta continues to win, but right now it's the Blue Devils' amazing 4th quarter comeback from a 17-7 deficit to beat Parkview 20-17 in the first round of the state playoffs. And there you have it, the top 5 moments in Cobb County High School football this season. Join me again next week at another Buffalo's Cafe. This is Bob Giles with the Inside Scoop. See you then.
Thanks, Bob. Coming up next, our mystery trivia guest stands tall, and you've got to guess which woman belongs to this 6'5" frame. And get into a crazy frame of mind as the Osborne basketball team cuts loose on a most entertaining Minute Mike.
Let's face it, if you're frustrated with school and getting poor grades, it can affect your whole family. But fighting about it won't help. Doing something about it will. Call the Huntington Learning Center at 977-2800. We can diagnose the full range of your academic strengths and weaknesses and develop an individualized program to help you succeed in school.
Take control of your future and break the failure chain for good.
Call the Huntington Learning Center for a free appointment. You can learn. Call Huntington today.
Hi, welcome to Music Docs, Cobb County's home of the bands and home of plenty of satisfied customers.
I keep coming back because they're really friendly here, and they're real good at having the supplies that we need for my daughter.
My favorite thing are the people. They are very helpful and a lot of fun, and the hours are great.
So get in step with Music Docs. Chances are your high school already does. For great buys and service after the sale, call Music Docs in Marietta, Cobb County's home of the bands.
When it comes to buying fine jewelry, the name on the wall may make the difference. At Edward John's Jewelers, we understand your need to feel comfortable when it's time to decide. We hope 15 years of giving back to East Cobb means something to you because it means everything to us. Edward John's Jewelers.
These days, it's not a restaurant's food that most people choke on. Buffalo's Cafe. Nice atmosphere, good service, and prices that are as easy to swallow as the food.
Cheerleading programs aren't just for teenagers. It's for all ages, and there's no better place to start than American Cheerleading. From toddlers to middle school beginners, American Cheerleading builds confidence and self-esteem. There's nothing routine about it. American Cheerleading, from the basics to the best. If you've missed yourself or someone you know on Prep Rally, get your own home videotape now. Perfect for recruiting trips or a Christmas keepsake. Statistics, special effects, and all the great memories on one videotape. Plus, you can bring in your own home video and we'll edit to your specifications. Call Prep Rally today for your greatest moments on high-quality videotape.
That's right, sports fans. The time has once again come for the Papa John's Hot Shot. Tonight's contestants are Chris Thornhill and Charlie Gaylor. The 15-yarder is up, and it's straight on through. Now for the 20-yarder. Chris gets ready. It's up, and he sneaks it through. They've already won the pizza, but they're going to go for the third one. Could be the best hot shots of all time. The fans are rooting him on. It's up, and oh, he's got it. Oh, my. Congratulations, and we'll see you next time.
Well, now we're up to your favorite 60 seconds of the show. It's our Minute Mike. Now, maybe you'd like to be like Mike or some other famous sports star. Well, we put the ball in Osborne's court, and their hoops players told us about their athlete idols.
This is Phil Adams in the Osborne Cardinal locker room. How the heck are you, Cobb Pep Rally? We're here asking our teammates who's their favorite NBA player.
NBA player is my cousin who played for the Arkansas Razorback. He's not in NBA right now, but he will be there next year.
And his name is?
Scotty Thurman, folks.
Scotty Thurman, no relation. How you doing, buddy? Who's your favorite NBA player? Leave it alone.
Well, my favorite player is the big man, Scottie Pippen.
Now we're here with Eric Montross, otherwise known as Glenn Probst. Who's your favorite NBA player, bud?
I'm gonna have to go with Shaq too, cause he just dominated. That's all.
All right, we'll see y'all later, Cobb Pep Rally. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
Hi, I'm this week's mystery trivia guest. You can't miss me. I'm a 6'5" center for the Walton women's basketball team. I'm 15 years old, so I probably have a few more inches to sprout. Yes, I bump my head on everything because I'm a bit uncoordinated, but I tend to grow on people. Right now I'm injured, so I spend my spare time shopping. Men's clothes from the Gap with the 38-inch inseam fit me the best. Well, that's long and short of it. Call in to win if you know my name.
The Wednesday night trivia question is brought to you by Hair Pizzazz in Marietta. The fifth caller through with the correct answer wins a free appointment. Call now.
Coming up next, no, it's not a repeat, but for the second week in a row, we talked to Marietta coach Dexter Wood. Hey, if the Blue Devils keep on winning, we're going to have to give him his own show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for change? Presenting Hair Pizzazz of Marietta and Essentials by Matrix, the winning formula for hair and body care. The ultimate tools for your new look can be found at great salons like Hair Pizzazz. Ask a stylist for a complete Matrix makeover from your head to your toes. And you won't believe our new VibraSound experience, perfect for stress reduction. Hair Pizzazz is the salon of choice for all ages, and we'll put some pizzazz into our younger clientele. So start with Hair Pizzazz and finish with products from Matrix Essentials, Johnson Ferry Road in East Cobb.
If football is king in Cobb County, then welcome to the Pigskin Palace. Pro Sports is loaded with helmets, pads, and gear for little leaguers and the varsity. 21 years of fitting experience can't be wrong. So go with the pros. Pro Sports with 2 locations, including Powder Springs Road in West Cobb. Are you a high school athlete looking for scholarship money? North American Sports Scouts can help. We'll send your profile to hundreds of colleges every month to help you find scholarship money. There's money waiting for you. Don't get overlooked. Call North American Sports Scouts for a free consultation.
Community pride comes in many forms. You can see it in your children. You can feel it on Friday nights in front of your friends and neighbors. Or you can show it in ways that aren't so plain to see. At Cobb American Bank, we feel that pride and take seriously the responsibility that comes with serving our community. Check out our 30-month CD at 6% APY or our 1-year CD at 5.5% APY. Some restrictions apply. Only at Cobb American Bank. Member FDIC. If you're frustrated and failing in school, fighting about it won't help. Doing something about it will. Call the Huntington Learning Center at 977-2800.
Take control of your future and break the failure chain for good.
Call the Huntington Learning Center today. If you've missed yourself or someone you know on Prep Rally, get your own home videotape now. Perfect for recruiting trips or a Christmas keepsake. Statistics, special effects, and all the great memories on one videotape. Plus, you can bring in your own home video and we'll edit to your specifications. Call Prep Rally today for your greatest moments on high-quality videotape.
Well, welcome back to Cobb Prep Rally, and now joining us for the second week in a row is Dexter Wood, coach of the Marietta Blue Devils. Coach, thanks for taking the time again this week, and that's because you won again and are now in the Final Four of the State Quad A playoffs. Now, you won your 5th game in a row in the 4th quarter last Friday night against Dunwoody. Tell us about that game and how you were able to win it.
Scott, we're excited to be in the Final Four, and we're proud to have you here again, and I hope this continues for
yeah, let's do it again next week.
But I guess the Dunwoody game is much like the previous 4. A good quality opponent that played us tough for 3 quarters, and then when we got into the 4th quarter, we seemed to reach an extra gear, and our opponent seemed to go to a lower gear. And as we've done for, as you mentioned, 5 weeks in a row, we dominated the 4th quarter. It's 3-0 going into the 4th quarter our way, but they scored to go ahead real early, and then from that point we scored on 2 successive possessions, and really was the stronger team going away as the game ended, and ended up winning 17-7.
Well, this week you're going to have probably your toughest challenge of the season in playing Colquitt County, and on top of that you have to go there, which I'm not even sure where it is, but it's like 4 hours away, South Georgia. How do you prepare your team when they have a long bus ride before the game, whereas normally you're playing, in the region?
It'll be somewhat of an adjustment. We'll leave a little early and take a few stops, and we'll get there in time to eat a pregame meal and get them, into a routine that we would play like at home. So I really don't think it'll be that much of adjustment. We've had to make some similar trips over the last few years, and I don't think that'll be a factor in the game. The biggest obstacle we have is this great Colquitt County football team and playing South Georgia style football and finding a way to score points and keep them from scoring. The trip and all that, it's kind of like a bowl game, and that's going to be the fun part of it.
Well, your defense played real well last Friday night, other than the 1 touchdown play that they had. The 1 pass, it played pretty strong. Now, I imagine that's going to be a big part of your game plan as well, and keeping them off the board.
Our philosophy here starts with our defense. The tone of the game and how well we're going to do in any particular game can pretty well be determined by how well our defense plays early on with their intensity, and typically outside of the quarterback and tailback position we put our better players on defense, so we expect to be good on that side of the football, and that'll be the case in the game against Colquitt County Friday night. Playing great defense, being sound, not giving up any big plays, and then on offense reducing mistakes and penalties. And hopefully if we get them in the 4th quarter we can continue the trend that we've had for the last few weeks.
Well, great. Well, Coach, thanks again for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks.
And that's going to do it for this edition of Cobb Prep Rally. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to tune in next week when we'll have the highlights from that Marietta-Colquitt County game. We'll see you next time, Cobb County. Well, we're all loaded up and ready to go.
That's right, Scott. I tell you what, I'm disappointed that football season's winding down, though.
So am I, Ann, but I'll tell you what, basketball season is right around the corner. In fact, on this very show, we have a game between Mickey Pitopos and there. Friday night, as Marietta battled Dunwoody, we wanted to capture the sights and sounds of Friday night football. So with the season coming to a close, we asked the question, why is the camera shaking?